Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, April 16th, 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're doing well. If you're new to this podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. It has all about my upcoming events, the work that I do, and how to schedule an appointment. And for those of you coming back every week, thank you so much. Thank you for your comments, your support, feedback. I appreciate it so much. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. And also, if you're listening to this through the business Facebook page of mine, please share it with others, especially if you connect with it and think it would help someone else in some way. It's really what this podcast is all about. So the topic of today, karma. And we think of karma in different ways. And I'm going to talk about a couple of different ways, but not necessarily how the Buddhists think of karma. Karma, to me, is about energy. It's about consequences for actions. But it also is about what we put into our path, into the blueprint of our life story before we even arrive in this carnation, into this carnation on this planet. So many times, if you're new to the podcast, you will discover this. Pretty much every week, I talk about energy and our ability as unlimited beings to create our life. You listening to this right now are creating your future through your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your perceptions. And a lot of the time we do it on autopilot. And nobody gets away with anything with energy. We're deliberate creators whether we're deliberately creating or not. We're doing it. So that's why many have discovered, especially those who are more successful, but also spiritual teachers, they have discovered and understood, have come to understand that since it's happening to us, since we are creating deliberately, whether we mean to or not, why not be a conscious creator? And these teachers have been in our lives for years. Some of them have moved on. They have transitioned. Teachers such as Florence Scovel Shinn, who wrote The Game of Life and How to Play It. Bob Proctor, who wrote Born to be Rich. Wayne Dyer, who wrote many wonderful books. Louise Hay, who wrote You Can Heal Your Life and other wonderful books. These teachers from all walks of life, some of them very wealthy, in a very business standard kind of way, and some of them very spiritual. But they came to an understanding and they wished to share it to the masses. But now we're in a time where, well, you may remember, perhaps some of you, when The Secret came out. It was a movie in 2007. And they talked about it, energy, manifestation, law of attraction, as a big secret, a mystery that only some knew about and didn't share with others. And there was a time, yes, when some knew about it and deliberately created with it. But now we're at a time, and it was predicted decades ago, where we individually are understanding our own power, our own ability to manifest, to deliberately create. And so it's not something that just the successful do, or those who are very spiritual and learning about the past and all. It's really for everyone, but it is about being open. It is about learning, understanding, practicing, and it's an everyday deliberate practice. It is not, just for to have the best results from it, to be conscious of it. Now, when you're conscious of it, you generally would try to be in the highest vibration you possibly can be in. But we are human. That's why you chose to be in this human body, which is my next part of talking about karma. But as much as you can every day, feel a sense of gratitude. Feel a sense of love for others, especially the unlovable. Especially. And we all know of those who perhaps are less lovable in our minds, but those are the ones that should get the unconditional feelings and love the most. Not necessarily through relationships or through words, but through energy, through vibration. So, it is very important to keep that vibration high, because the higher your vibration is, not only will you know that everything is happening for a reason and setting up your life, but it will also make your life smoother. So when things happen, you go, oh, I have to get through that now. That's a challenge. You'll know there's a purpose to it because you're at that higher vibration. You're also at a higher vibration going to attract higher vibration things. If you're at a lower vibration, you tend to attract lower vibration things. And so, for instance, if you walk around being very cranky and angry and pessimistic, you'll tend to attract things that make you more angry and pessimistic. But if you have a positive feeling and a positive view of life, you'll tend to see more that emulates that. It's just energy. We're all made of it. We all put it out. We all attract it back to us. It's a flow. Some people would call it good luck, bad luck. There's no such thing as good luck or bad luck. It's about energy. If you're open to winning, if you feel you deserve it, if your vibration is high about it, you're going to win more. And we all know this, people. When you go to a gathering like bingo or an auction or something, like one where you would put in tickets for it to win it, that'll win more. People that will just be open to winning more. It's because their vibration is higher to winning. It doesn't even mean, by the way, that if you're a good person or a bad person, it doesn't matter. Because it's about energy. And energy doesn't judge. It just matches your vibration. So basically in life, we get what we're open to and what we feel we deserve. So it's so very important to make sure that that is really high inside, and not that we're not walking around with what someone else has said to us or made us feel, or a false humility of, many of us will walk around this earth going, oh, I'm good. I just want enough, and give it to others. Well, energy gives it to others then. Is that really where you're coming from? Because you can have as much as you would ask for. And our loved ones in heaven would always say, just ask for more. We'll do our part to try and flow it over to you, as would any being in heaven. And so that's very important to keep it in mind. We're taught perhaps about being meek, or that we shouldn't be wealthy if we're spiritual. These are all things that are not truths. The more that you have, the more you can serve. The ability you have to give more to charity or to those who you just want to be generous with, even, especially strangers. So there's many teachings out there passed down and passed down and passed down. That is not really from a place of truth, but just from a place of perceptions, judgments, beliefs. So a conscious creator will see that. They'll see their blocks. They'll see where maybe they have a lack mentality about life, whether it be wealth or relationships or anything, because you can have more than one. They'll see where their fears are and how to work on them. And many of the most successful will do hypnosis, will do tapping to clear out blocks and beliefs. They will have more disciplined lives. They'll get up early in the morning and exercise and visualize, and because they want to be in control. They want to be in control of what they receive as much as possible, because we live with other wills. We live with people who also have their own conscious creation going on. And if they are a part of our lives, they can impact us. But really, we really shouldn't walk around worrying or being concerned about what another one is creating. If we want their lives to be better, we can send them energy, good energy. Sometimes we call that prayer. We can pray for them. Send them unconditional love. Send them good thoughts. Doing that serves them. Most of your work, if 99% of your work, should be about, well, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What are you attracting into you? And so it is not something to be afraid of. It is not something to, add as a burden to your life. It can be very freeing, actually, to know the power that you have in this world to bring to you what you really want, and to see how the universe is working for you. Now, every once in a great while, you'll notice how the consequences of what you put out in energy and coming back to you works for another person. And yes, also known as karma. Justice is always occurring. Rights are always wronged. Everything is always balanced out. But one thing you must be very careful of is not to get happy about it, not to wish for it or want it regarding another, because that's another way of bringing it back on you. So, revenge is not sweet. Wishing bad on another is not a good, productive way for yourself. It's very important to kind of observe it like a distant observer, and not one that's passionately involved. And I see that many times with people, that they wait for something to occur that would make them very happy. They celebrate the loss of another. And excuse me, even if it's humanly right on some level, even if it's understandable, maybe it's obvious that person has it coming, we still have to watch out for what we're attracting to ourselves. We don't want to attract energy, because let me simply say that when you celebrate the downfall of another, you're asking for a downfall for yourself, whether you deserve it or not. Because what you put out in energy comes back to you, the feelings, the thoughts, the words. So in your own way, you're asking for it for yourself. And, many wouldn't deserve it, would they? No. So if you celebrate, now it's different if someone, it's about being a bit obsessed with it, of celebrating it on a heightened level. Of course, if someone does something and they're arrested for it, they harm another, for instance, you are allowed to nod in recognition. It's when it is a large part of your life, when that energy is bolstered. That's what I'm talking about. You want to watch out for that. You also want to watch out about how you treat another. If you gossip about somebody else, others will gossip about you. So you want to, as much as you can, have the character about yourself and your life that you would want others to have for you. Because again, what you put out, you get back. I almost want to say it with me. And this is something, by the way, all of this information is something you've known all your life. I remember being very young, and I was young and I was old enough to work, to be in the workforce, but I was still very young. I was in my early 20s, and I remember saying to a coworker, everything ever always turns out roses for me. And I knew that. I knew that everything, no matter what happened, would always clear out and be all right. Some people would say you can't hit the lottery unless you feel wealthy, and they don't know how they know that. It's embedded truths. It's from our connection to Source that we had in heaven before we came, and now we're here, and sometimes our soul reminds us of it. And it's one of those things, again, that you don't know why you know. But you do know. So watch those little truths that can come out, those little whispers. But the little whispers, the truths, they're never negative. They're never embedded in, I'll never get mine, they get theirs, that type of thing. When we have a pessimistic belief, that is not based in truth. It is based on life experience that either we've had or somebody else has had that we know. And then we form our beliefs and thoughts from it. But really, when something happens, often there's a purpose to it, which is why right now I'm going to go over to another kind of karma. And this one's a tough one. The other one, most of the time, what we put out, we get back. And if we're consciously aware, pretty much we're going to put out what we want to get back. We're pretty positive about it. And there may be some things we want to work on to heighten what comes back to us, to expand it. But pretty much, if you're consciously aware of energy, you're living a pretty good life. But this other one, though, can be more of a challenge. So I'm going to take a bit of this coffee I have today and begin talking about that. So the other karma. And I call it karma because it is from the history of our soul, the history of our creation. When we come here, to this incarnation or any incarnation, we bring with us free will. And that free will has a lot of say, and it has a lot of room. We have a lot of room with our conscious creation. That is why fortune tellers are not really real, because they'll tell you about a set destiny. And set destiny, the closest you can come to it is if you are so determined to have it in your path, it's there. And you stick to it and you focus on it and you believe it and you draw it to you and you don't waver from it. But we do not come to this earth with a life already played out and then we just are a character in it. Already planned, already set up. Good luck to us. Some have it well, some don't. Some are meant to struggle because they've come here with that path. Some are not. No, it's not that black and white. But what we do come here with are karmic desires to work on things, to maybe in some way restore a relationship from another life, to right a wrong, perhaps from another life sometimes, in some way. Like, a lot of times we might see this in someone who is not healthy in our lives. There is, some history there between us that is playing out. And it's individual to everyone, so I don't really want to give a lot of examples about it. But while our past is a part of who we are and does play out in our life, we still, again, have a lot of say about what we attract, what we bring to us, and we can always fix and throw out those karmic ties. But also another thing that we do, which I aha'd myself personally recently, is that not only do we want to come here and work on different forms of creation for ourselves and learn lessons and experience things, but sometimes we put little moments into these paths to bolster us forward, to give us wake-up shouts, to make sure we get it done. And then we're in the middle of living it and we go, oh my gosh, I would never have asked for this. No way, this is too hard, this is crazy, why would I do that? Because we knew in heaven the larger picture. Heaven where it's home, where it's calm and peaceful and content and loving and accepting and merciful and all these wonderful feelings that we try to find here, that we try to bring to ourselves here. In heaven, it's easy to form our lives, to create what we want to put into them, the little moments, the blueprint of our lives, as I like to call it. It's easier because there we're not experiencing it. We're going, oh yeah, throw that in. I'll be good with that. That'll work. And then we get here, we're like, oh my gosh, I have to live through this. And some of those moments that we will put into our life path will be the rock bottom moments, the diagnosis, the relationships breaking up, the home being destroyed. No, these moments that we go, oh my gosh, this is hell on earth. And yes, there are people that feel that this earth life is actually hell, and that we do go to a better place and don't have to really be concerned about going to a hellscape because of their beliefs and their perceptions from their life experiences. But I've come to learn, why do things happen to good people? They happen because it is meant to move us forward. It is meant to grow us. It is meant to expand us. It is meant for us to be victors. It's meant to push us to overcome. But yes, it tests us. It can make us fall to our knees. It can make us want to give up. And we are all teachers to ourselves. Anything that happens to one person affects the all. So some of that's in there too. I may struggle. I may not even live a long life because of my struggle. But I will make an impression on people for the higher good through that life too. It's like from heaven, a win-win. In some way, it makes your life more meaningful, knowing that you will impact others. And so, and by the way, I don't use the word win lightly for those who have lost people in very tragic ways, and when they're young. It's just a different perspective from heaven before we enter this physical body. And that's the thing. In heaven, you don't have the physical body to be impacting you. You're pure spirit. You're pure energy. And so decisions are made for your higher good and the higher good of the all, and not from a human perspective. So what does that mean for you? It means when something happens, take it one moment at a time. And yes, it can get you down. You can ask for help. You can cry. You can get angry. You can have all those human emotions. But it is important not to live there for a long time. Have your moment. And then try as much as you can to go into a place where, how can I grow from this? How does this make me feel? Now, sometimes it's like a hole and you're looking up to the surface from the hole. Ask for help for climbing out of that hole to a better place, to a place where you're on the surface again. Ask for help from your angels, from your departed loved ones, from those on earth if you have those type of connections. It is all right. It is more than all right. And yes, this life can wear you down. But remember, you have everything in you to navigate through it. I hear so many times from people, oh, it's so awful right now. It's so bad in this world right now. Oh, no, it's actually beautiful on this earth right now. There's a lot of wonderful things happening. The earth is changing for the better. But yes, people are needing to heal. They're letting their anger out. They're trying not to change. They're trying to not be part of the change that's happening. And every person on this earth in some way knows that we're in some kind of end times, whether it's religious or spiritual or even non-spiritual and just someone who knows of energy. Everybody knows about the change. Navigate through it and know that this is a time for acquiring understanding and growth, and that you wanted to be here, and that you are here for a reason. And make the most of it, the best of it. Sometimes myself, I will ask, okay, you got to help me through this one. You got to make this better. Give me the information. Give me the signs. And heaven will give you signs. They will give you information, advice. They will also often carry you through without you even knowing it. So you know you're never left alone. There's always a helper, more than one. And you can ask them to show themselves. Also watch with these karmic decisions that you bring. We have our ancestors in us. You have the belief system within your body of your great relative that you didn't even know. It's just passed down to pass down to pass down. Make sure that what you're carrying with you is what you want, what is completely yours, and not just hereditary. And I'm not even talking about physical, though that can be there. I'm talking about the mental, emotional, and spiritual. Your beliefs and perceptions don't always necessarily come from a mother or a father. They're passed down. And so just make sure they're your own. That's what they call the sins of the father, but really it should be the sins of the ancestors. And sin's just a term. Their survival, their beliefs, their hardships. You carry that too. It's just invisible a lot of the time. Or it's not, depending on your family structure. So make sure that what is in you to believe and to say and to think is a belief that you really want to have. Because belief and perceptions are not based on fact. They're based on perception, experiences, what is handed down. I make sure to say, I know that, rather than I believe that, because beliefs are not based in fact. But when you know something to be a fact, that is a knowing, that is knowledge, that is wisdom. So make sure of that. Be a conscious creator. Be active in your life with your super mind and your super subconscious. While we should all go with the downstream and flow of life, we should also be involved and doing what is best for ourselves by having that highest vibration. Gratitude, seeing the blessings, understanding where thoughts, beliefs, and feelings come from, working on them to resolve them, to turn them into something better. That is your role here as a super duper unlimited human. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful week. Please be sure again to like, subscribe, and share, and to like and follow me on Facebook under my business page, Spirit Teacher Lisa M. Hupp. Also, I have a newsletter, lisahupp.com. Please sign up for that. Subscribe. I don't spam you a lot. I don't spam you, honestly. I don't like it. I don't like when people spam me. So I maybe send out 1 to 3 emails a month. Really, a lot of the time, 1. So please, sign up for that. I'm also on Instagram under Spirit Teacher Lisa Hupp. And find me because I'm here navigating this life, and I'm also helping others to navigate this life for the better, for the higher good, for the higher happiness. Thank you so much again, and many blessings.